Hey there. So, I've seen several times on the internet that some people complain about the air filter on the Transalp 700 and 650 being behind the tank and being difficult to replace. Say you have to dismantle a lot of things to get access to the air filter. And yeah, it's true, but it's not as difficult as it may seem. And also there's a very huge benefit of that, and I'm going to show you how fast is it to replace the air filter on the Transalp 700. But wait, there's more. I will show you a trick to make it even faster and easier. And last but not least, I'm going to put a K&N or K&N air filter because I had very good results on my Transalp 650 with one of those, and also in other bikes I had. I was pretty happy with them. In the long term, they're cheaper than putting stock air filter or even aftermarket cheap air filters, and also my experience with them has been an increase in performance and a reduction in consumption. So it's a win-win situation. Some people say they're not good for off-road. I have to disagree, at least on the Transalp. On my previous 650 I did a lot of off-road with a K&N air filter, and at zero problems. When I had to open the engine because of the failure of the countershaft, the cylinders, the pistons, the valves, everything was in perfect condition, and the bike had over 100,000 kilometers. And I had been using a K&N air filter for the previous 80,000 kilometers with a lot of off-road. As you can see, my area is very dry, and I travel a lot to the desert. I travel a lot to Morocco. With the 700 I've been in Algeria recently. You can see that on some videos on my channel. So yeah, look at the ground. It's pure dust. It's pure sand. I'm going to show you how fast is it to replace the air filter on the 700, and I will also explain you why it's better to have the air filter box in that location, and also some tips so you can do it even faster. To replace the air filter, to have access to the air filter box on the Transalp 700, you need to remove the tank, because the air filter box is right under the tank. And to be able to do that, you need also to remove the seat, which is easy. You just need the key of the bike, and also the side fairings. Once you have removed the seat and the two side fairings, then you can remove the tank. You can move it back, you can put it up, or just remove it completely. And under the tank you have access to the airbox. Just undo the screws and replace the air filter. I'm going to show you how easy and fast it is. So on the 700, to be able to remove the side fairings, you have to remove this bolt. You have to remove another one which is inside the fairing, approximately in this area somewhere here. Okay, inside. And then you have to disengage all the plastic clips that are around here. There's one here and another one here. It may sound complicated, but it's not that much. Also, as you may see, because I have crash bars, it makes disengaging the fairing more complicated. That's why I use the trick that I'm going to show you a bit later on the video. Okay, so we take out the seat, which is pretty easy. Just use the key. Here we go. To make it harder, we are going to use the bike tools. So you can do it everywhere. If you need it, you can replace the air filter everywhere. I'm in the middle of a trail, as you can see. I'm not in a shop. So I'm going to use the bike tools. As you can see, my area is very dusty. The bike is covered in dust. I have no idea how the old filter is going to, the older filter is going to look. It's the same one I've been using for my travel to Algeria, and also it's the same one that came with the bike when I bought it. I bought the bike with 100,000 kilometers approximately. Now it's at 115,000, I think. The air filter was already used when I bought it, but I checked it and it was in good condition, so I just kept it. And so I have no idea how it will look like. But in Algeria, every single day of the trip, I had a desert storm. I had a lot of dust, I had a lot of sand in the air. So I'm going to show you how it looks. That's the one that goes inside the fairing. So now that we have removed the two bolts, now we can take the fairing out. Now, originally the fairing is clipped in a lot of places in the plastic, and here and there, but I did the modifications because due to the crash bars, it made dismantling the fairing very difficult. So I'm going to show you later, but now we just have to disengage, pushing back the fairing, and as you can see now, it's very easy to take it out. Well, or I hope so. Okay, here we go. It's out, and something is missing here, and that's why it's easier to remove than before. I'm going to show you. To have an easier access to the vital parts of the bike, for an easier maintenance and repairs, what I did, and it's the same thing I did in my Transalp 650, I just removed these black plastic that go inside the side fairings. So here you have the fairing, the side, this is the right side fairing, and this part just go inside this way, and as you can see here, and this part is also clipped to the front part of the fairing. So without this, it's a lot easier to remove the side fairing. I have no clue what this is for. In my opinion, it's some people say it's to channel the airflow, to better channel the airflow through the radiators. I don't think so. I haven't noticed a difference in both my 650 and my 700, and where I live is pretty hot. I haven't noticed a difference. What I personally think it is for, it's to add strength and rigidity to the fairing, which is very supple, very flexible, and this plastic is harder and stronger. So I think it's to add rigidity to the fairing, and also to make the bike look better from the rider point of view when you look down. But I removed these plastics in my 650 and never had any trouble, never had any crack on the side fairings, nothing at all. And I've removed them on my 700 before my travel to Algeria. I've done also off-road since then, and no problem at all. And I also removed this part that goes there in front of the tank, and it's bolted to both sides of the fairing. You don't notice the difference really when you took it out. Aesthetically, you cannot see that you have removed either this plastic or the ones that goes inside the side fairings from outside. So and again, I think the main reason of the side plastics is to make the bike look better from the driver position, because now you can see the inside of the fairings, and also to add some rigidity to all the fairing. But it makes disassembling the fairings a lot harder. So I just took all the plastics out. And again, it's the same thing I did on my Transalp 650, except for this, because on the 650 it's the whole part that goes around the clocks to the fairings. So I only took out on my 650 the plastics, the black plastics that goes inside the fairings to make the maintenance and a lot easier. Even if in the 650 they don't disturb that much, they don't have more hassle to disassembling the tank. But on the 700, taking out those plastics make your life a lot easier for maintenance. Now we are going to do the same operation on the left side, which is removing this bolt and the one that goes inside the fairing, and that's it. Then after that we are able to remove the tank. Okay, so now both side fairings are out. So to remove the fuel tank, we need to take out this bolt, and with the flat tool that's given on the motorcycle tool, it's not going to be easy, but it can be done. It's a 12 millimeter, and yeah, let me try without the camera in my hand. It definitely would be easier with a socket, with a 12 millimeter socket, but if you really need to do it, you can do it with motorcycle tools. Okay, here you have. Now you can move back the tank, okay, and lift it. You can keep it, and you now have access to the airbox filter. You can keep it you can keep the tank lifted with a piece of wood or anything. See that those are a breather and an overflow tube for the fuel tank. Okay, once you put back the tank, you need to reconnect these two tubes to the tank. I'm using the handlebar to keep the fuel tank lifted, and now we just have to take out all the screws of the airbox filter to have access to the air filter. There's also one inside this hole, so don't forget to remove that screw too. After removing 9 screws, now we have the top of the airbox out. This is how the air filter looks. It's very, very dirty. But keep in mind, I've done this air filter has way over 15,000 kilometers. I don't know the exact mileage this air filter have been used to. I only know I bought it when I bought the bike. It was already used, but it was okay. It was in good condition, and I've done a lot. I've done 15,000 kilometers with it. I've been in Algeria every single day for a week. I've had desert storms with a lot of sand, and that's what I like on the Transalp 650 and 700. Is that the air filter is so enclosed that even after days and days and days going off-road in the desert, it barely goes dirty. Now you can see the sand, but in any other bike it would be a lot dirtier than on the Transalp. And that's, I understand it might be more difficult on this bike to replace the air filter, but in exchange you have to do it less, a lot less. I remember in my 650, after travel to Morocco, 100% off-road in the desert, everywhere, 5,000 kilometers of desert, and when I came back home, the air filter was like new. I just replaced it before the travel, and when I came back home, it still looked brand new. So yes, I understand that maybe it can be a bit of a hassle to replace on the Transalp 650 and 700 compared to the 600 or any enduro bike, but it's still not that bad, as I just shown you, and you don't have to do it as frequently and as in other bikes. So it's a win. In my opinion, it's a win-win, because you just do it less, a lot less than in other bikes. I'm also going to show you how it looks on the other side. Very clean. And now let's check the airbox on the bike. Yep, very clean too. I'm going to clean it a little bit more, but there's no sand, barely any dust. And again, this bike has done a lot of off-road kilometers with the same air filter. So I'd rather have a more complicated air filter to replace, but do it less, than having to replace or wash it every few thousand kilometers, or even every few hundred if you do a lot of off-road. The air filter, the K&N air filter, already comes with oil, so you just have to install it and that's it. And it also comes with a plug like this one, and the instructions says you have to delete this tube. This tube goes to a drain here in the air filter box. So you have to take out this tube that goes down the bike, and you have to delete it and put this plug here on the air box. Now we just have to put everything back. Just the top of the air filter box, which is here. You can clean it a little bit inside if you want, but this one is not dirty at all. But yeah, it's better if you clean it. Then put the tank back. Don't forget to reconnect the breather tubes and the overflow tubes of the fuel tank. And yeah, put back the side fairings, and that's it. We're done. And I'm going to publish a review of the K&N. I'm going to explain if I felt any improvement in the performance, if I had some improvement in the fuel consumption, but that will be in a few thousand of kilometers, because I want to check it in a good way in different situations, off-roading, traveling on the road, on everyday use of the bike. So stay connected. Now it's just time to put everything back. That's only going to be a few minutes, because it's pretty easy. Put the box, the cover of the box, the tank, the two side fairings, and we're done for today. We can go have a beer at the beach.